What is going on, guys? Samuel from Samuel Productions here, back with more year-end videos for y'all today. I'm actually going to two big ones on YouTube. I actually have a lot of year-end ones on my TikTok. You guys want to check that out. As for those who don't know, after this year, I'm actually going to mostly transition to TikTok. Because I'm not going to beat the fully posting on YouTube, but TikTok's going to be probably the primary focus from here on out. But I do plan on doing at least 2 more year-end videos, honestly. If you guys want to know what my favorite games were this year, my most disappointing, my most underrated, surprising, and the worst movies I saw in 2023, you can check out my TikTok, which is looked down in the description, and as I'll be listening to this, those videos will be up, so. And for this one, I'm here to talk about what I think are the top 20 best first-time TV shows I saw in 2023. Because I did see a lot. And I mean a lot of TV shows that came out this year, so I think doing top 20 kind of makes sense, honestly. Like, it was like very variety. A lot of the shows I saw this year were maybe shows that came out this year, or just shows that I saw that I've been meaning to watch, which is why I used the term first time. Shows that I've seen in 2023. As it's not just kind of shows I saw in 2023, this is kind of TV shows that I saw that throughout 2023, and not just counting ones that were released. Hopefully that makes any sense, but I did see a lot of interesting and crazy shows that came out this year, so not only are not some of my favorites of all time, so it made this list actually not that kind of hard, honestly, to decide what they're going to do, honestly, so take that what you will, honestly, but I still hope you all enjoyed this video. I will probably leave a list of all the shows I did see throughout this year down below in the description. If you guys want to be familiar with all the shows I saw this year, I'll leave some of them in the description and also in the comments, just a heads up. But yeah, I got a lot of shows talking about, so I hope you all enjoy. Let me know what are your favorite shows that you've seen down below in the comments, so let's get to the list, shall we? As always, before we do get to the actual top 10, let's get into the honorable mentions. The shows that I still loved and enjoyed. They just did not end up making a list, and the honorable mentions are One Piece Season 1, Seasons 1 and 3 of Cuphead, The Cuphead Show, You, Teen Wolf, The Walking Dead, Dead City, Big Brother Reindeer Games, yes, it's actually in the beginning of the actual list, The Confidential, The Traitors, The USA Season 1, The Owl House Season 3, The Challenge, the entire show, yes, unfortunately, as much as the highest of that show, they didn't end up making the actual list. Sorry. Star Wars Vision Season 2, iCarly Season 3, the reboots, Preacher Seasons 1 through 4, Season 1 of Clone High, I did not bother to see Season 2, or the reboots, whatever it's called, Season 1 and 4 of Education, which honestly, if it wasn't Season 4, it probably would have made the actual list. Season 1 and 2 of the Total Drama reboots, Gen V Season 1, Season 1 and 2 of Abbott Elementary, all 3 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and the show that just ended up missing the list, the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Yeah, all fantastic shows. It just didn't make the actual list. So, hope you enjoyed the actual list. Okay. Coming in at number 20, of course I included in Spiral Season somewhere here, so coming in at number 20, we got my favorite Spiral Season to come out this year, Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Yes, even I'm surprised when the Australian season ended up making this list. Well, I did always enjoy the Australian Survivor seasons, and there's a bunch of couple that are great, a bunch of couple seasons that started to be like fantastic seasons. It's something with that Australian TV is never being questionable, mostly the fact that it introduced like a lot of different twists and turns, and they kind of end up plaguing the season. Basically, they're kind of doing what Survivor US kind of doing right now, actually, with the twists and turns. But I was trying to find even then still more egregious with it, and it also has certain issues that end up playing it, with some characters not getting screen time, the length, the amount of episodes, and the twists and turns with their screen time, obvious winner edits, like a lot of issues that have always plagued Australian TV. But Heroes vs. Villains actually end up fixing a majority of those issues, actually. Well, there's still a couple of those, honestly, with issues with the length and touching being incompetent at times. This ended up being one of the most interesting and compelling seasons with some of the most compelling gameplay I've seen on Australian TV, with some epic blindsides, incredible moves, and just characters. Of course, one of the major reasons why season is so good is George, who is definitely in the debate of being the best international Survivor character of all time, and one of the best Survivor reality TV characters, period. Like, this guy just oozes charisma, oozes personality, and you just can't help but love him every single time that he is on screen. I mean, like, you thought he was good in Rain vs. Braun, like, you ain't seeing nothing yet in this season. Despite that, he still gets great characters and some great people here, and some fantastic moves, and for once, you don't have an actual blatant, obvious winner edit, which is actually pretty refreshing. So he ends facing a majority of the issues with previous seasons. It's an incredible season all the way through, so that's why it is my favorite Survivor season that came out this year. My number 19 and 18, we actually have two Superman shows, actually. My number 19 being Superman Lois Season 3, and my 18 being My Adventures with Superman. And Superman Lois being a show that, honestly, has been some of the best shit that CW has ever done, honestly. And while I definitely loved the first two seasons, yes, even Season 2, Season 3 is, in my opinion, the best season. It has the most pure emotion. It tells a lot of stories that you wouldn't expect the CW to actually pull off and actually do correctly and do actually, like, respectively. Like, it actually kind of shocked me, actually, how well they actually did it. It's paced pretty well. The characters go through very interesting, compelling journeys throughout. While some may act kind of likable and kind of assholes, you do understand why they are the way they are and why they do act this way. And like, I mean, Jordan kind of acts like a dick in this show, but you at least know why. And while, of course, Jonathan ended up getting recast this season, the actor still does a pretty good job of maintaining that character's charm and charisma and likability. The action is still fantastic. Hojin is still great. And actually, Lois Lane gives them her best work as Lois Lane here, especially with the story they give her this season. The villains are great, it has some great surprises, and has a pretty damn finale. And then there's My Adventures with Superman, which is kind of a more comical dull take on the character. And the show actually really surprised me, and the more I watched it, the more I really appreciate it. Again, the supporting cast is great, the animation is well done, the action is great. It does a really interesting take on Superman. We go through some really interesting emotions. I kind of like it back for Lois Lane, even though Lois can be kind of thick sometimes, but eventually she ended up winning me over. Overall, hilarious, charming, and I cannot wait for season 2. Now, at number 17, we have Beef. Beef, one of the new shows that was on this list, and of course, the show was definitely going to be somewhere on the list. And something show that I think it's best not to talk about too much about, as it is a pretty interesting show where a road rage incident basically led to some pretty tense and crazy moments that happen throughout. And these are some crazy shit that ends up happening. Like, wow. And Stephen Show and Ayon give fantastic performances, so that's all I can really say about the show. It's one of those shows that best not know much about, and you'll be surprised by what ends up happening throughout all 10 episodes. Now, at number 16, and this is one of the few short on the list where I actually kind of debated actually putting it on the list because, well, some shows where I technically never did watch when they came out, or watched some parts of it. But again, I don't think I watched them all the way through, so I decided to count them for this list. Because at number 16, we got the original animated Justice League show, which I decided to actually rewatch throughout this year randomly when it was on Netflix, and honestly, I'm glad I decided to do that, honestly, because it made me appreciate this show so much more. To be honest, I don't think I've ever watched much of this show at all, honestly. I think I more watched Unlimited than anything, which I also did rewatch, honestly, and will be much higher on this list, spoiler, by the way. But yeah, the original Justice League actually surprisingly holds up very well, having really interesting, compelling narratives that built up between 2 to 3 episodes, which I didn't remember at all, honestly, but it makes the stories more stand-outish, and it makes them more grand and more epic. You get great portrayals of these characters, great back and forths. Just what you want from a Justice League show, and what you want from anything involving Justice League in general. Bringing these characters together, and they all deliver such great performances, and great characters, great portrayals, diving into much of characters' backstories, and moments that are surprising, actually. Like, almost I wasn't expecting. Now, at number 15, it was another show that I did watch some seasons of the show, but there's some I don't think I watched all the way through, and considering I ended up rewatching the entire season, I decided, why not? Because at number 15 we have the amazing race. Yes, I did rewatch all 34 seasons of the show. Now, I did say I was going to do like a tier list of the show, but I'm saying I didn't, because I originally was planning on doing a tier list, but honestly, I ended up feeling very under the weather, so because of that, I did end up not doing it. Same with the Disney ranking, unfortunately, my apologies. You can probably check out my blog spot if you guys want to find out how I rank all the seasons, along with all the Disney movies as well. You can check that if you want to find out that. Yeah, Amazing Race is great. I'm glad I decided to finally watch the show. Seasons are fantastic. Some seasons are fantastic. It does have many like terrible bad seasons aside from one season of the show. And it is the reason why the show is still popular to this day. And the reason is actually pretty good actually. At number 14 we have Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Another new show that came on I saw this year. And the show I was actually pretty excited for when I first saw it. When they first announced it, I mean, it's a new take on Scott Pilgrim, and it's going to have a cast of new movies coming back. I mean, I was definitely excited for this, and when I was getting to all these spoilers and details, obviously, the other going in a direction that I was not expecting, that I did not see coming. So I was like, wait, are you serious? Like, what? What? You're going that direction? But it ended up working, it ended up paying off. The animation is fantastic, the humor that you've Scott Pilgrim is still here. Actually dive more into other interesting characters that I really did enjoy. The action's done zany, great, and I like the story directions it goes for, and overall, I just had a blast and had a big grin on my face throughout. Now, at number 13, we have Severance, Season 1. Yes, I did watch this show, which, is an Apple TV exclusive. And I didn't know about the show, but I remember a friend Space Ninja, who was one of my favorite YouTubers to watch, had this as his best show of last year. So I decided to find it good to watch, and yeah, I can see why. And let's just say it's one of those shows that it's best to not know much about. It has a definitely interesting premise to it, so that's all I'm going to say. It's not one of those shows where it's best to go and not know much about it, but it has some surprising elements and some shocking revelations. Like, Dark Number 13 really just said a lot about the other shows that are coming later, but this is a show that's definitely one you should definitely check out if it happens. Like, if you somehow check out Severance, definitely check it out. Now we have another show where I totally did watch the first season of the show, but I did end up watching the other one, so I decided to include season 1 still. And number 12 we have Barry. Yeah, Barry is fantastic. I still love this show. It's definitely one of the most unique HBO shows that has been delivered. The first 2 seasons I think are masterful seasons of television. Even season 3 I think is fantastic. Season 4 does go a bit of deep end with some weird story directions it goes for, but you and I still love the season. As a whole, I think it still has a very unique and satisfying ending, honestly. It's definitely out of nowhere, but it definitely is interesting, that's for sure. But overall, Barry is fantastic, and a true testament to why HBO is still an amazing, incredible stuff. Bill Hader loves his best performance, the constant back and forth in a lot of these characters, and the unpredictability, not knowing what's going to happen next throughout every turn. There's just so much to love about the show. Number 11, we got a sitcom a popular sitcom that I watched for the very first time this year, and that is Community. Yes, it's been a while, but I finally watched all 6 seasons of Community. And I'm glad I did, honestly. Like, I'm just gonna wait. The first 3 seasons of Community are some of the best sitcom television I have ever seen. Like, they are a truly remarkable sitcom at its best. Has some of the most zany, unique, and interesting characters that you'll ever find. Some of the most interesting storytelling that you'll ever see. It comes to a sitcom, like, it's very unique with how it delivers certain elements and all that stuff. The cast is just charming, likable, and interesting, and even some of them kind of assholes to get out, but I just love them and how they interact with each other throughout. A lot of the crazy stuff they end up getting through is insane, but they do have still interesting character arcs, and they go through some killing stuff to go through. And really, the last 3 seasons is probably why the show actually isn't any higher on this list, because if it wasn't, this season actually would have been top 5, honestly. But season 4 is kind of just whatever, honestly. I mean, I don't think it's like as bad as some make it out to be, but I wouldn't say it's good, unfortunately. But season 5 and 6, I would say, are still pretty good seasons and still have great moments. But in this season, I would say even come close to the best of the first 3 seasons, even though I still think they're pretty good seasons. And Community, again, the first 3 seasons, still some of the best on television to where it's still worthy of being at least close to the top 10. Now, at number 10, we get to another show that was also been on my watch list for a bit, honestly, that I decided to watch, and that is Heartstopper. And this somehow has been loved Victor as the best LGBT show that we have ever seen. Like, oh my god, this show, like, talk about a show that just touches your heart so much, which is funny because the show is called Heartstopper, but oh my god, this has some of the most beautiful portrayal of LGBT people that you will ever see. The performances from the cast, from Kid Connor, Joe Locke, William Gall, everyone is just phenomenal. Has characters that are very interesting and compelling and that you do care about. Have pretty interesting relationships and back and forth with. And the main relationship is just incredible. It's just one of those shows that just puts a big grin on your face throughout. Has some of the most heart-wrenching and heartwarming moments. Again, no pun intended, because obviously that you will ever see. The music itself is great. You get some pretty emotional scenes throughout, but some moments that will make you smile and laugh throughout. It's just one of those like charming, feel-good type of shows that you should definitely check out. So both the 2 seasons here, they are just incredible, and I definitely cannot wait for season 3. And now we actually get to another anime on this list at number 9. That is Spy X Family. And one thing that I've been trying to do actually is, obviously try to get more into animes. And 2024 is definitely that I'm definitely going to try, honestly, by visit anime editions. Definitely let me know down below. But Spy X Family was definitely one I decided to give a watch, honestly. I watched both seasons of the show. I think his last episode did end as I'm filming this, which I did watch. And it is just a fantastic show with incredible animation. A story while may seem like a typical story that you see here, ended up becoming a very interesting and compelling narrative where the characters are just charming and interesting, has some pretty interesting surprises throughout. The story is very compelling, and I just love every second of this show that just put a big grin on my face throughout. Like you guys have not checked out Spy X Family, like what the hell are you doing? Now, coming in at number 8, we have Loki Season 2. Yes, Loki Season 2 ended up being in the top 10. This is by a landslide the best Marvel show that we have gotten. And the Disney Plus shows, which I did rewatch all of them actually this year, they've definitely been very hit or miss. I mean, I probably say I enjoyed most of them, but some of them have definitely gone a little downhill. Some I definitely disliked a bit more on rewatch. So most of them I say are like pretty solid to good, honestly. But Loki is by far the best, and season 2 definitely is the best. And takes what was so great about season 1 and somehow expands upon it. Has some of the best character moments out of any MCU show. We got in Tom Hiddleston delivering some of his best work as a character, which is really saying something. It was able to be paced very well for 6 episodes, telling a very interesting narrative throughout. Some interesting surprises that happened throughout the season. And some most emotional stuff that we have seen, especially with him. Probably the best finale out of any of these shows, with some most emotional shit that I've seen out of any MCU property, period. Again, well, the MCU has gone downhill. This and Guardians of the Galaxy did prove that when they actually do put in efforts, and when they actually, can bring it, they really bring it. And this definitely proves that. Now, coming in at number 7, we have an animated show, and also not Marvel property, but obviously this one's not really MCU related. This is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which actually aired on Disney Channel. And this just continues to prove that while the sitcoms can very hit or miss, when it comes to animation, Disney Channel hardly, if not at all, ever misses when it comes to the animated properties. Of course, they may have a dud here and there, or a show that's not as good, but usually they nail it with their animated stuff. And I know no one thinks that on the hell. Amphibia, again, I mentioned the Owl House earlier. Kim Possible, like, they had Kim Possible, Dragon Dragon Claw, Did the Barbarian, Phineas and Ferb. Like, so many incredible anime properties. Again, well, maybe not all of them maybe hits. They used to, there's never like a true dud, honestly, and again, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur continues that trend. Judging by also having some of the most breathtaking animation that they have ever done on the show. Yeah, a show that I took a bit to get going and figure out what it wants to do and the identity. Once it does, it's a show that has so many incredible moments, so many surprises, has interesting characters throughout the season. I love having some nice little Easter eggs for Marvel fans, but also telling some pretty compelling stuff that you wouldn't expect Disney show to actually, tell actually. Like, again, the soundtrack especially is great, the representation, the characters are very likable and interesting and filled with layers. Again, basically the perfect package of Disney animation is here. Now, at number 6, we get to another show that's also been on my watch list for a bit, and that is The Bear. Oh my god, yeah, this is just one of the shows that deserves all the widespread critical acclaim that it has gotten, because, well, it's definitely not honestly a type of show where basically someone just ends up entering a sandwich shop and everything. It's one of those, like, deep, painful, and emotional shows that deals with some very real subject matter and some very real shit. The show, and combine that incredible performances from his amazing cast. Characters that actually feel real, like actual real people. Like, it's never not an easy show to watch at times, honestly, but it is an incredible one, especially with a couple certain episodes. Like, there's actually one episode that ends up doing a one take that's just wow. Again, I'm talking about both seasons here, honestly. And honestly, I can't say which one I like more, honestly. I think both of them are fantastic and phenomenal seasons. Honestly, actually, The Bear actually put the show much higher on this list, honestly. There's just 5 shows I just enjoyed a tad bit more, but again, like, honestly, my top 6 are pretty much like phenomenal shows, so it definitely wasn't easy, but The Bear is definitely will watch. Definitely not an easy show at times, but it's definitely a worth watch. Now we're finally in the top 5, and obviously I did mention this show earlier, and number 5 is Justice League Unlimited. Again, I've been watching a few episodes of the show, but I don't think I've actually, watched the show in full until now, honestly, and this time it blows that original show out of the water. That show was already great, honestly, because, wow, wow, you're able to basically expand a lot more other superheroes and other popular characters, and they all definitely get the time to the characters we just see, they all get the time to shine, they all have very great portrayals here, whether from the antagonists or the heroes that are introduced here as well. Basically everything I love about the original is great here. Again, that's definitely more episodic, but in the best possible way. Again, fantastic action sequences, amazing animation, deep storytelling. What more can you ask for? Also, that theme song freaking kicks ass. Okay. Now, at number 4, we get to actually the last animated show on this list. And it's a show that has always been on my watch list for quite a while. I've heard nothing but critically beloved aspects about this miniseries. And I finally watched it, and they weren't wrong. At number 4, I have Over the Garden Wall. You consider how much I love this now. Surprisingly, I never watched this show till now, honestly. But yeah, I am trying to catch up a lot of culture shows I never watched before. Like I mentioned, I couldn't watch the Steven Universe, and I'm not including on this list. I mean, I did watch it for 2 seasons, but I think I'm going to put it on shows that I have actually finished, so I'm not going to include on the list. I mean, it probably would be on mentioned anyway, but wow. A show that definitely is. It's just like what I need to say. This show has been praised to death, and it's one of the shows that you just watch it for yourself because it's one of the most unique stories and one of the most unique shows that you will ever see. But it's only just 10 episodes, and it's just wow. Don't prove no, still got it. Now we get to a show where everybody knows your name, and that is Cheers. At number 3. Yes, I put Cheers on this list. I watched all 11 seasons of this show. It kind of came out of nowhere, honestly, but, I think with the Fraser show coming up, it came out, I figured, why the hell not, honestly. I think I've seen bits and pieces of this show, and And obviously, we all know the theme song, Where Everybody Knows Your Name. I mean, it's a classic, even if you haven't seen the show. And truthfully, Cheers is probably the definition of a comfort show. Like, this is the true definition of that. Again, I watched all 11 seasons. Yeah, yes, all 11 seasons of Cheers. And it's honestly why this show ended up being very popular at the time. Again, they had a lot of the typical sitcom stuff that you would expect, but obviously this is one of the first big ones, so obviously. And for a show that only had 11 seasons, it's one of those rare sitcoms where, where honestly, it never drags. It never has like a bad friend. Like, I can't even say bad friends, honestly, considering the 9th season at times, and even sometimes the 10th season, but she's one of those shows that actually never drags, never has like a bad front, never has like any like downward portion that any shows would. Like, every episode was actually still good, and they felt like they still have something to say. And again, that's definitely impressive actually for a sitcom to do that actually. And that's how they also have very likable characters that you actually do enjoy watching and feel like they're not just going around in circles, and you actually do just enjoy and love watching. You actually get some pretty emotional moments at points that you expect from a sitcom at this time. Just wow. And just one of the shows that's just heartfelt and puts a big grin on your face throughout. And how I watched that show, so I have no idea, but I'm glad I did. And I know I actually do plan on also watching Frasier next year, and also the reboot as well, so I that show will be on next year's list. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to be other shows, like we'll see, but we'll see how it goes. Now we get to the top 2, and definitely it was definitely a debate, and I think it was kind of just a little bit of a hair between my top 2. And funny enough, my top 2 are actually HBO shows, actually. Like, yeah, my top 2 are HBO shows. Which again, proves that HBO is an incredible story. But yeah, my number 2 is Succession. Succession. Yeah, I one of the shows that's been on my watch list, and with it being the final season, coming up, I figured, why the hell not? And holy shit, this is definitely one of the most compelling shows I have ever seen in my life. Like, oh my god, it's one of the shows where you just never know what's going to happen. So much constant back and forth, so much interesting intrigue throughout. And just can't help but still be invested with these characters, despite them doing pretty terrible things at times. A lot of the links to really the acting from all these characters, and a lot of the back and forth between what's happening and who's going on the company and the fighting and everything, and a lot of the links that you get to go through. Combine that with some great humor, excellent acting, production values, interesting subject matter. Again, even HBO is like, wow. And it's an interesting, incredible surprise. Again, not one of the shows that actually never like drags in any portion. And the final season especially has some jaw-dropping moments that's just wow. Again, every time I have not just a session, what the hell are you doing? Now, coming in at number 1, my favorite TV show I've seen in 2023. Not sure where I'm going to be happy about this, honestly. I mean, I don't know, sure I've claimed, but people are like, really? But in the end, I'm pretty sure some people will be surprised, but yeah, my favorite show of 2023, in my opinion, is also a 2023 show, and that is The Last of Us. Yeah, honestly, I don't think any show I saw this year affected me as much as this show. Despite the fact that so many shows that affected me so much, so many shows I loved, The Last of Us is just outstanding. The way it was able to adapt a lot of the elements of the TV show, well, I like some of the little details that makes you appreciate the actual source material. Like, this is basically what video game adaptations should be doing. It probably should have been doing, honestly. Honestly, maybe actually adapt the actual material and try and, while I'm telling the same story, to do something interesting and fun with it, which seems like a lot of bad she did not get, especially Resident Evil. They tried to go so far of it, but get kind of alien to the fan base. But this one is the perfect, where even if you have not heard about the show, you'll still be invested. But for someone who's like a huge fan of the games, like I am, don't get something out of this. Again, Peter Pascal, Belle Ramsey are fantastic in Joel and Ellie. Where they got to play a lot of the characters throughout the show is great. The new characters they add are fantastic. Again, that Bill and Frank episode is just amazing, and how they decided to add to that as well. Even some episodes that may feel like filler still are just phenomenal. Yeah, the production design is great. The moments that we actually see in video games they'll develop here are outstanding. From the production design, from the acting, the emotion, the score, it's beautiful all the way through all 9 episodes. Unfortunately, I'm only going to have to wait to 2025 to get the next season, but it was going to be such a good this season. I'm all for it. That's why Last of Us, in my opinion, is the best TV show I've seen throughout 2023. Well, guys, that is my top 20 list of my top 20 best shows of 2023. Best first-time shows I've seen in 2023. Again, let me know down in the comment section what your favorite shows that you've seen, whether shows that came out this year, or just shows that came out in years that you watched for the first time. I would love to know down in the comment section. Again, and my next one's going to be obviously on my top 20 best movies of the year. Honestly, that's the big list I always do. Honestly, I'll still be seeing a lot of great movies this year, so stay tuned. That one coming next section very soon as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like subscribe button. Be sure to follow all my social medias down in the description, especially my TikTok. I am Sim1 World of Sim1 Productions. I will see you next time. As always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.